Hey, this is Isaac,
Hi, this is Emily.
and today we're going to be discussing DK64 versus Tropical Freeze. Okay, for Tropical Freeze, how would you say the boss fights are in Tropical Freeze?
There's only 2.5 boss fights that are good or okay, which are the Seal Boss, which can be fun, Bashmaster, which can be awesome and classic, and Lord Frederick, which is okay, but could be generic. At least his theme song is good.
For negative for DK64, I'd say the controls haven't all the way aged well. Like with Diddy's Jetpack, the controls are not the best, but it can also control fine or good at times too. Say for the cover art or box art for the games, I'd say I like DK64's box art more.
There's a lot more going on in the Donkey Kong 64 cover art, which makes it more interesting. See, like, all the events and things that are happening in the cover art. Whereas with Tropical Freeze, it's just mostly some ice background and the characters doing one thing in it.
I'd say that both games have interesting stories. With DK64, you have Cruel wanting to blow up the island, and Tropical Freeze, you have the Snowmad wanting to take over Donkey Kong's island, and they do take it over and kick out the Kongs. So the Kongs have to get their island back. I'd say, though, that the voice acting at the beginning of DK64 maybe enhances the um, story over Tropical Freezes.
In Donkey Kong 64, they actually, for Donkey Kong, he talks, whereas in Tropical Freeze, he's just making gorilla noises. Where, honestly, for Smash Brothers, it made sense for him to make gorilla noises or him grunting when getting hurt, but like doing it as a thing for when people playing the game probably want to be able to interact with the character kinda stinks that it's just gorilla noises. Were in the other game, he had some actually interesting things to say.
He said, like, ooh, banana, or okay. But in the opening cutscene, we also have Cruel talks and some of his minions, and the reveal of Donkey Kong's Island in 3D is pretty cool. Is there anything to say about Tropical Freeze against that?
Not really, besides just that it wish that they got to interact with the characters more.
What's your opinion? So, do you think DK64 has a better story than?
Yeah, it's more descriptive, and even though it's descriptive, you still get a better idea of what's going on.
You also have interesting characters like Snide, the weasel who made the laser that Cruel wants to use to blow up the island. And there's also Kay Lumsey, who's locked up by Cruel and can be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Say that Okay, so Tropical Freeze has high definition graphics for the first time, and DK64 has 3D graphics for the first time. That's fully 3D. How would you say the graphics in DK64 have aged?
I mean, it can be muddy at times for the graphics, but they're still cool and important enough that you can understand what's going on in the video game. It's not like you don't know what's going on in it.
What's your opinion of the Tropical Freeze being the first high definition Donkey Kong game?
That's cool. Looks good. Glad that DK64 was created graphics. Because without that game, I don't know what would have made the uh, Donkey Kong games 3D and so good for graphical improvements. And then same with Tropical Freeze, it helped out for to get more of an idea on the style that they want to go with going forward. Or at least for now.
Do you think Tropical Freeze has the better graphics?
Tropical Freeze probably has the better graphics, but DK64 is still fun for its graphics. I wouldn't say that DK64's graphics are completely bad or something.
I'd also say that DK64 can be satisfying for collecting stuff when you're not going for full completion of the game. So it can be that can be kind of a flaw and like a good thing at the same time. But since it's a collectathon, you're encouraged to collect everything. But it kind of hasn't aged well for if you want to collect everything. But the game can be fun if you're just collecting casually and not trying to get everything. They also made it pretty satisfying for the sound. vocal clip that plays when you get a banana. I'd say that Tropical Freeze's collectibles are kinda okay. I think it's maybe annoying if you wanna 100% this game too. But for if you're casually collecting, it's decent or okay. You're collecting puzzle pieces. And stuff like that. Talking more about the boss fights, I'd say that DK64 definitely has the more memorable boss fights. You got the Armadillo guy. You got Dogadon. You got Mad Jack. That's the creepy toy box. Those are some examples. And the final boss is definitely better than the final boss in Tropical Freeze, in my opinion. The boss fight kind of drags on with Lord Frederick. Even though the DK64 final boss is long, it has a reason to be long. You're using all the Kongs against Gruul.
And it's in a fun boxing match too, which is very original for Gruul, at least. Whereas Lord Frederick's boss, it's kind of rip off of Donkey Kong Country 2's final boss. Having that same type of, or similar type of gun thing, if I'm correct.
Yep. And I'd say DK64 definitely does the characters pretty well. It's a ton of memorable characters in DK64.
They're unique. Because I feel like, yeah, sure, some people dislike Tiny Kong and Blinky Kong, but even then, for their characters, if you look at it as them being funny or kind of fun, could be enjoyable to play as them sometimes.
Um, you also have like the Kongs play instruments in the game, and they have guns, and they also have character when you go into the tag barrel. Like Chunky gets afraid when you're maybe gonna pick him. And DK gets disappointed if you don't pick him. And
How's the animal buddies in each game?
say that the animal buddies are kinda okay in both games.
To me, though, they're definitely more farted on for Tropical Freeze, for only having like Rambi for the most part, and then what's the one toucan bird guy's name?
Squawks.
Squawks mostly does that boring puzzle thing. As in the other game, you at least get Rambi.
Squawks talks to you in DK64 at the near the beginning of the game.
There's On Guard.
There's also that one seal guy from Country 2 is in the game. Rambi's used for a short amount on the first level. In DK64, and he's also used as in a bonus room near the end of the game. And On Guard, it's cool that they both have their own theme songs. On Guard is in the Gloomy Galleon level. So I'm not sure which does the Animal Buddies better, but that's what I gotta say about the Animal Buddies. Say both games have interesting levels. Fruit and popsicle levels are pretty memorable in Tropical Freeze.
The level where it's on fire. Cool too.
For DK64, got 3D levels for the first time. And I'd say they're cool.
Some of them can be really epic for what's going on.
I'd say that Creepy Castle's probably the best level in the game. The Fungi Forest is also good. Do you think that they just both have good levels? Or is there one that's maybe better?
I think yeah, sure. Tropical Freeze could some classic levels, but if you compare epicness though, then at least for me, DK64 can sometimes be more interesting, especially for the boss fights for their levels. Some of the boss fights in Tropical Freeze kinda aren't that good. What do you think of the soundtracks?
It's cool that they got David Wise back to do Tropical Freeze soundtrack. Well, he collabed with um, a Metroid composer that's at Retro Studios.
Some of this nostalgia. What do you think of the DK64 composer?
He's classic for doing Banjo Kazooie games. He also, his first soundtrack at Rare was the remixing Donkey Kong Country 2 into Land 2 for the Game Boy.
Yep. He's definitely improved from those games to this game for realisticness of the sounds.
I'd say that Creepy Castle, once again, well, it has a awesome song. Fungi Force Night, Day, and or Fungi Force Day and Night are good. The Crystal Caves are good, and the Hideout Helm level, that's the last level, is pretty serious. In the game. You also have the boss introduction song. It's classic. Final boss theme is definitely more memorable than Tropical Freezes.
What's your opinion of the DK route?
I think it fits with the trying to be hip and cool during that era. Like in the original country game, Donkey Kong throws down his boombox and interrupts Cranky's record. And now in DK64, there's a rap. I think that fits with the being hip and trying to be cool. The most iconic song probably from DK64 though is the DK Isles theme when you're on Donkey Kong's Island. Hmm.
So, what do you think of the games overall?
Well, which soundtrack is better, first of all? Tropical Freeze has some epic rock boss battle themes. Has some emotional kind of songs. Some serious songs. What's your opinion of DK64 against Tropical Freeze?
No. What soundtrack fits the game better and what's more classic? Or what just is more enjoyable to listen to, I guess? Or I don't know. Or is it a tie? On that side of thing.
Maybe it's a tie. So which game do you think is better? Most people would probably say Tropical Freeze is better.
I do think though that DK64 sometimes be overhated too. So,
They did say another dang Donkey Kong game for Tropical Freeze for the Metroid community.
Interesting.
How important is the characters being pretty memorable?
Important so people enjoy actually playing as them in the game.
That Tropical Freeze does have Dixie return.
Yeah. It's cool.
Could criticize that the other Kongs are kind of power ups for DK, though.
Which game?
Tropical Freeze. What do you think?
I think it could go either way. But for my personal opinion, for when thinking about like how much I'd want to play the game again, it would be DK64. That one.
So, admit that because the Kremlings are not in Tropical Freeze, it kind of doesn't motivate me to want to play the game. Because the villains are kind of not all of them, but they can be generic.
Yeah. Even then, though, if someone were to pick Tropical Freeze over DK64, I'd be fine with that too. Personal preference.
For me, though, I think DK64 has more character to it. And I'd say the villains for characters are more interesting. And say how the Kongs act is more interesting. So that was our comparison discussion. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
That have a blessed day.
And a good day. Signing out.